This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Dr. Jordan Clark in the house at the moment. G'day, George. How are you?
I'm going well. Morning, guys.
Coming off the back of a long weekend.
Yeah, no.
You guys did train on the weekend, though, didn't you?
Sorry?
You did train on the weekend, didn't you?
We did train, but we didn't lose, so it was a great weekend.
Yeah, no anxiety. That's the key. Got a bit of a head cold, but...
So you're fresh as ever, right?
Yeah, well, I'm sort of fresh. I've got a bit of a cold, bit of a flu, but what a weekend to get it.
Bit of Vicks Vapor Rub on the chest, you'll be right.
Yeah, I've been trying all sorts of stuff, all the stuff Grandma dished out when I was a little boy, so...
You got kicked out on the couch, didn't you?
Yeah, turfed out to the couch last night. I was coughing and, keeping the partner up, so booted out and slept with the dog on the couch.
Hey, can I ask you about when you get a cold, you always look around to which bastard gave it to you?
Oh, yeah, point the finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I tried to raise with the club that it was the school visits we did.
Yeah, the kids, they get
Well, they are. They're disease-ridden, aren't they? Let's be honest, Ross.
No, it's that's also a good part of the job as
Yeah.
well, going out to schools and giving a little bit back. So can't complain.
Well, you just did.
Yeah, sounds like you just
I tried to.
No one's buying it.
Yeah.
Before we get stuck into footy, I want to ask you talk to you about cricket, because the Australian outfit are going to play South Africa for the World Test Final, which begins tonight.
Yep.
You're a cricket dude. Scott Boland not getting a game, and who's coming in for him?
Josh Hazlewood.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Where do you stand on selecting teams?
Oh, I'm flat for Scotty Boland, to be fair. I feel like he's shouldered a large load over the recent sort of past, but I'm flat for him. I think he's been bloody good. He's never put a foot wrong, and unfortunately, there's always a bloke in the team that is sort of in that position. So, I'm also unsure about Marnus opening the batting. I feel like he's struggled a bit at number 3 as well. So, hopefully, touch wood, the Aussies go well. But there's a few watches.
Who would you have got to open? Would you have put Constance in?
Oh, I still would have loved to see Constance.
Just because he's just such a loose unit.
Just let him go.
Yeah.
Davey Warner-esque. Let him go.
Yeah.
But
Take the leash off.
The other one is Cameron Green comes in at number 3, and I know he's coming back from injuries, we all know, and he's been playing county cricket, and he's been making runs, but number 3 doesn't, I don't know.
That doesn't seem where you would put
5.
him, right?
Thoughts?
Yeah. Big Greeny's a star, so there's no doubt that he's cut out for it. So, like I said, he probably hasn't batted there before, but I think, as Uzi Khawaja said in the media, it's the 6th best batsman, and it's just, if you want to play, you have to bat somewhere you don't want to bat sometimes, and I'm sure Cam Green wants to bat at 3. All batsmen want to bat more, so hopefully it goes well.
It doesn't seem like Australia have played Test cricket for quite some time, so if this is coming
in
we know
cold.
this is happening. It comes, it doesn't seem.
It's like Freo match or coming off the bye.
Hopefully not cold, Nat.
Hey, nice playing that. Yeah, it's interesting to have that cricket going. But let's get on to the footy now, and we need to sell tickets for this game because it is a North Melbourne home game technically. So Dockers members don't just naturally get their tickets; they've got to purchase them.
They're $35. So it's a good deal. But yes, people are going to assume that their membership covers it, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
So buy your tickets, everyone.
Jordo, why should they get to the game? What's going to happen?
I'm going to kick goal this week, I think.
Yeah, let's go.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm putting it out there. Me and
All
Luke
right.
Ryan. Luke Ryan hasn't kicked one for, I think, 6 years, so we'll both get on the end of one this week.
If Tom Cole can kick him for the Eagles, then anything's possible.
Yeah, we love a back skull. I was even pumped to see big Tommy Cole get one. So.
Jordo, have you ever done a secret signal when you kicked a goal or something that is for a personal thing, like, how
Your celebration.
your celebration shot or a gang sign?
Yeah, no.
Gang sign.
It's gang side. Yeah, it's gang side.
Yeah, I haven't pulled out the gang sign, but I have. I've done a salute for someone in Alice Springs last year, and then I did in my 100th game, I did that Olympic shooter bloke for someone else as well.
Yeah. Did the person you did the salute for see it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Otherwise, what a waste.
No. And people tee that up with me knowing I play at half-back. But
It's never going to happen. Yeah.
So...
But this week, all right, what about if you do something for us then this
Make
week?
an N with your hands for Nova. I don't know how to do it. Semi-gang-like. But
Semi-gang-like.
there you go. That's your
right.
N.
Yeah.
Right.
There it is.
Like the Western Front, but one's
but-
inverted.
Yeah.
Cool. Look for it.
Sounds good.
We can't wait.
Yeah.
Now we're invested in the game.
Jordan, have you had conversation? You've come off the bye. I know we spoke about this last time. Previous years, the performance has been ordinary. Is it just business as usual? Do you actually go back and talk about that? Or do you just go, nah, that's behind us, we're moving forward in a different way?
Well, it's only early in the week. It's
Yeah.
Wednesday, and we trained yesterday. But no, we didn't talk about it. I don't think we will talk about it. It's one of those things, It's
Yeah, so shut up, Shaun.
yeah.
Don't bring
yeah.
it up.
But I think it's real. It's there. We've been terrible. We have shaken up a little bit of our week and changed a few things to what has been working for us over the last month, which is something we hadn't done before. So hopefully it all just falls back into place and we take off where we left off. But it's footy sometimes and that doesn't happen.
Strange
It's never
things
perfect.
can happen, but I doubt they will. I mean, look, the game in Bunbury that we don't ever want to speak of again, but North Melbourne, whilst they did get the win, they didn't exactly play the best brand of footy you've ever seen. So you guys would be pretty confident, I would think, going in. You should be.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. We've gone into games feeling that way this year, and we've been, met with the opposition's best. So, I think on any given day, if you don't rock up and the opposition do, you're in a world of trouble. And North Melbourne, regardless of how they played on the weekend, are full of talent, stocked full of talent, and got some really good players. So, I think their last month of footy's been really, really competitive as well. So they look to be a much more improved team than they have been earlier this year.
Yeah, now they're an interesting team because they've been at the draft for
Yes.
plus 4 or 5 years more than the West Coast Eagles, so they should be well and truly climbing the ladder faster. I'm not sure if
And
they're
traded
clearly
for
not
a
getting
few,
it wrong.
getting Jack Darling, Griffin Logue.
Yeah,
players
well,
like that,
a lot of clubs, and you look at Hawthorn, they went to the draft for a number of years, and once you go there, then they go, okay, now we need a couple of positional players with a bit of experience, and they pick the right ones. I'm not sure if North Melbourne's done that.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and that can stuff you up in the short term rather than just having that long-term focus. And I know they needed to win games because, people are coming for you, left, right and centre, but I wonder if they'll get it right. Their midfield is good though, and they've got some real hard units in there, so it's going to be won and lost there as it always is.
Yep. Yeah, no, it certainly is. They got, like you said, some quality through the middle of the ground. Probably one of the best ruckmen in the game at the moment. Big X, he's flying. So, then you've got Davies Uniacke and all those blokes at his feet. Yeah,
One of my favourites, yeah.
LDU.
I just like saying LDU.
I love that. Don't the commentators love to say that?
Oh, they love it. Yeah,
LDU.
absolutely. Hey, we've got the photo up of Jordan just having a look at once he scored that goal in his 100th.
He's shooting into the air.
Where's his hand, Ross?
Are you touching your belly?
Where's your other hand?
Your belly.
What's happening there?
I'm trying to be
It's on me old fella. No.
It looks like it is down your pants.
Yeah, no. It's
You do feel safer though when you're touching it sometimes.
didn't have a pocket, so just had to. No, I actually wasn't going to do that part, and then the physio at the club said, "No, you got to commit.
You got to do it.
You got to fully
all or nothing.
hand and-
That's committed. Yeah, you're committed. We'll get that one up on our socials. Well done, Sam, sending that through as well.
Well, so that, but with an N for us.
Yeah, and for Nova.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough to do. And finally, I just want to say, talk to you about there's a lot of players that seem to be coming back. And at the start of the year, there was guys getting injured in the first month of the season. But we saw that Nat Fyfe came back. Michael Walters is training fully at the moment. Jago O'Meara's back. Alex Pearce is a week away. I don't know, Nathan O'Driscoll, how far is he away?
He's been playing in the Waffle the last couple of weeks. So,
Yep.
he's building his form.
Carl Warner's available for selection as well. So there's a number of players coming back and are fit and available.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's what you want, really. You want a clean bill of health, especially heading into the back half of the year. And unfortunately, injuries do happen, and we'll probably cop some more. So to have a bit more availability, and with the likes of the blokes you said that are coming back, Fyfe, Walters, Alex Pearce, Jago O'Meara, there's a fair bit of experience there that can do us a world of good.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the next
Beautiful
month of footy, in particular
your tickets,
starting this
everyone.
Saturday night, everyone. 5:30 is the bounce down.
And you're wearing the stealth jumper. Everybody's
that.
about
Oh,
the
yeah.
stealth jumper.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like dark and then with the purple chevrons, yeah?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
stealth. They're in stealth
board.
mode, everybody.
I won't see him coming.
Well done.
Good luck. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Sean.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Good to have the big Pav in the house. So we're just discussing off air, actually. Pav's one out in the household at the moment, one out in the dungeon.
Single parent, hey?
Yeah, 1 on 3. Always did my best work. 1 on
Yeah.
3, Shawnee, back
Oh,
in
mate,
the day.
it's tough
so
when you go from man to man into a zone.
yeah, well, it's more than a zone. 1 on 3. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
what even is that?
how we're going.
But you used to beat him 1 on 3. That
yeah, I'm not sure about that.
You.
1 on 2, I could maybe halve the contest.
You
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Well, I'm getting beaten right now. My kids are taking me down. No, Leah Lauren's away, enjoying catching up with her brother and a new nephew overseas, which is fantastic, and hanging out with Sarah Snook. I think I saw a
there was
photo
a
going.
Tony Award winner Sarah Snook.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there. She went and saw the
Picture of Dorian Gray.
That's the one.
Yep.
The matinee, loved it, thought it was great, and was hanging out afterwards, or maybe she just got a sneaky snap. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't had the
they're
debrief.
best friends now.
They are. They're tight. Yeah, I mean they connected over the Australian connection.
Yeah,
of
that's
course.
right. That's right.
But yeah, just trying to keep up with the schedule, which is all our kids in school and everything else.
So school, and they play a lot of sport, your kids.
Yeah, they're relatively active. Yeah, I mean, a mix of basketball, hockey, netball, and footy is probably what we're doing.
That's four sports, and there's only three kids. Figure it out.
Yeah. But the good news is, semi-good news is that Will, our youngest, broke his finger a couple of weeks ago. And I say it's good news is because it just simplifies the schedule a little bit shorter.
I know.
I did feel bad, though, because I was umpiring at the time on a Friday arvo, and, he went up for a mark and he sort of came down. I was like, "Oh, Dad, it's really sore," and he was quite upset. And I said, "Oh."
And then did you give a free kick for descent?
Yeah, for 50 metres. Yeah. So I said, "Oh, give us a look," and it was a bit swollen. And it wasn't at right angles, but it was like, "Oh, look, do you think you can keep going?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll see how I go." And he did the rest of the session. And anyway, we strapped it up and iced and whatever, all the normal stuff. Next morning, 7:30, it was basketball. I was like, "Right, mate, come on, let's go. We're going to get moving for basketball." He's, "Dad, my finger's so sore." I was like, "No, it's not. You'll be right.
You've got another hand, mate. Come on."
Anyway, I started throwing the ball at him a little bit. He was
as hard as you could.
and he said, "I said, okay, well, we'll have the morning off and we'll get you ready for footy the next
But you're
day."
playing this afternoon.
Yeah. Anyway, we tested him a bit later that day, and sure enough, he's like, "No, it's too sore." So we're like, off to the scan place, and off to get an X-ray, and sure enough, he'd fractured his finger. So I did feel a little bad after that, but you never know with these youngsters.
Well, yeah, no. In that circumstances, you don't. Last year, when Sunny broke her nose, Megan was the first aider for her team. I was on the other side of the boundary. I only saw her go off. Megan walked out to her. She came off, and then she came back on. And it was at the end of the game when I walked over to see her, and I just walked up to her, and I just saw straight away. I said, "Are you all right?" And she goes,
"Now you really are a McManus."
"I hurt my nose. Mum said that it was okay." And I'm like, "That is not okay."
She had surgery on it too, didn't she?
She had surgery on it, yeah.
I think there's some lessons to be learned about that resilience and pushing through, but at the same time, it's like, okay, it's broken. You do actually need to be put in a splint or something for a little while, or have surgery perhaps.
Yeah. Hey, Pav, there's a lot of sports going on. Let's kick off with the Socceroos making the World Cup for a sixth consecutive time.
Amazing. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I think, I certainly do. I get that sense of pride, I think, when the Socceroos and Matildas are playing every so often that they do pop up and you do watch. Obviously, they were here last week. Not a great game to watch, but an exciting finish, and then, they get through. So wonderful news there.
So Graham Arnold was really struggling as the coach of the Socceroos, and then he stepped aside because he was going to get pushed at some stage, I would have thought. So Tony Popovich has been in charge for 8 games, have not lost.
It's incredible, isn't it?
That's great.
I know he's bored the opposition to death a whole lot of times, therefore, like Japan, and we won, but it
gets the job done though sometimes. Sometimes boring football or boring soccer can win, and often, we know in the AFL game is that if you're in the top 6 defensively, you're a chance to win the premiership. Basically, that's how binary it is. If you're in the top 6 for points against, you're in the picture to win the AFL Premiership. Is the same in soccer. If you stop the opposition scoring and take your chances when you do go forward, so great to see that Pavlich is doing well.
Yeah, most definitely. The AFL Hall of Fame night last night.
Yeah.
I know you get invited.
Yep.
So it was just an opportunity that you weren't able to go, obviously.
Yeah, just couldn't go this year, unfortunately.
Couldn't take the 3 kids with you?
Well, I thought about it. We did go a couple of years ago when we had the great privilege of being inducted 3 years ago now, and we took the whole family over.
Of course.
It is the most special night on the AFL calendar, I think. Last night there was some larrikins inducted. Peter Darley, the South Australian ruckman from South Adelaide, who told some great stories and great yarns about his career and all the mischief he got up to. Certainly wouldn't be getting up to. Wouldn't be able to get away with that now. Gary Lyon, a colleague of mine at Fox Footy, finally inducted. I think he thought maybe the opportunity had passed him by. Which is really interesting. And he talked last night about. He just wanted to be an AFL player. He wanted to be a footballer. And he's gone through his career, media, and he said last night, "I now feel like a footballer again." Last night had made him feel like a footballer again, which was a really nice sort of sentiment. He had his 3 sons there, older boys, and that connection. And we saw Erin Phillips and Daisy Pearce inducted, which I think is fantastic. And particularly Erin, both of them spoke so well, as they always do. Yeah. But Erin talked about her dad, Greg Phillips.
He's an Adelaide legend, isn't he? Yeah,
South Australian football, Port Adelaide. Yeah. And, you heard her say that, well, Dad, when I was 13, you had to tell me that I couldn't play anymore. And I know how hard that was. And here I am 27 years later, standing next to you in the Hall of Fame. So just some beautiful moments last night. And that's what the Hall of Fame does. It brings out those wonderful connections in football, but those wonderful relationships that you do meet within a football club.
Yeah, I remember her dad playing state footy against WA, so I always knew his name back in the
quads.
day.
I mean, I empathise with him.
Rich.
I think he's got bigger quads than me. I really do.
Get out.
Yeah,
really?
Flipper Phillips. Yeah,
how is that even possible?
I don't know, but wonderful man, wonderful football person, and they've had a great lineage of people that come after them in that whole football family. Shaun Burgoyne is actually married to Erin's sister, so there's connection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I liked about Erin when she came over? She was coming over from being an Opal and playing for Australia.
Yeah, she played in the WNBA as well. Yeah,
and she really brought professionalism from an outside. I'm the outsider, right? But from a professional point of view, I just thought her fitness, her levels, was next level,
incredible. And you're right, she brought that from college. So she went across and played college and in the US, and has come back. She talked about it last night. That famous phone call that the Adelaide Crows called her. She was like, "Why are the Crows calling me like the enemy?" And sure enough, she comes back. And
she did publicly make a statement that she would never play for Adelaide Crows, never. And then they crossed to her putting the jumper on, saying, "I'm so proud to play for the Adelaide Crows," because Port Adelaide didn't have a side in at the beginning, and she wanted to be a part of it from the beginning. So, that's the sacrifice she had to make.
It was also great to see, I guess, contemporaries of mine, Luke Hodge and Nick Riewoldt. Nick was inducted a couple of years ago, but had the opportunity to finally sort of have his family and get presented last night. And Ken Farmer, so Hodge, and Ken Farmer, a famous South Australian, was elevated to legend status.
So he kicked 100 goals 11 times?
Yep, and 1,400 goals for North Adelaide.
So, that's crazy, isn't it?
Probably never left the goal square.
It was a different brand of football back then.
Munga torps.
The
flat punt.
Flat punts, It's
hard to say. Be careful with the flat punts. Pat, before we let you go, so there's been talk about the Perth Wildcats and their new...
They've rebranded. They've got freshened up their logo and their branding.
Well, first look at it this morning, probably like everyone else. What's your reactions?
Well, I feel like the Wildcat itself has been jazzed up is probably not the right word, but they wanted to make it look a bit more fiercer. It does look like a lot of college basketball teams that I've seen around the US.
It's got that vibe, but I guess everybody's logo does a little bit, because there's a lot of them. The Wildcats did give an explanation as to the different elements of the logo. So for the wild fur, this is what it says. It says, constructed with sweeping lines like players cutting in and out of the keyway on a play. I mean,
can I just say,
that's a stretch, right?
Stupid comment.
The colour, our iconic primary colour is red, and so is our red army.
This is just word salad that someone from an agency's come up with. It's got nothing to do with basketball.
You say someone, I say ChatGPT.
Yeah,
my favourite is this one. So the Wildcat, where it's written Wildcats, right? So they've basically curved it. It says it's a curve inspired by American basketball culture. Right. And Perth in a windswept lean, riding our renowned westerly winds.
Windswept lean, Pav?
I'm going to call it out. I'm going to say it should be southwesterly winds. They're not always just westerly.
Great point. Great point. Yep.
Look, I actually think it looks pretty slick, the logo and the new brand. But some of this wordsmithing, I'm not so sure about it.
I know.
A little bit.
Should have just let it speak for itself, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
And Channel 9 celebrating 60 years as well. There was a museum, a Boulevard Museum. There's you're now a museum exhibit.
Yeah, well, a few people think that anyway, walking down the street. No, look, it was wonderful. Monday night we had a celebration, both mainly an internal situation with lots of staff, lots of ex-presenters came along as well. So it was wonderful to have that connection to the past and present. There's, and they've done a wonderful job, the WA Museum, but also our 9 staff at bringing out all the relics of old television, but also like the stump mics or the stump cam that was actually invented for Wilder Sports.
Oh, yeah?
Here in Perth.
Oh,
so
was
it was
it?
a Perth, a Perth
We
crew.
invented Stump Cam.
We invented Stump
Well
Mike,
done,
Stump
Perth.
Cam. And they had to be really specific because of our southwesterly winds.
Yes.
Just like the Perth Wildcats. Because of how tricky that could be, the Fremantle Doctor, etc.
Yeah.
So, invented here. So you can go and check it out at the WA Museum. We had a wonderful night last night, Monday night. There's celebrations throughout the next week or so. But 60 years of Channel 9 Perth. It's
We're
wonderful
catching
to
up
be.
with Tomo and TiVo tomorrow. as
Yeah,
well.
looking
So,
forward to it, actually.
we'll talk about it some more then. Pav, thank you. Love your
Good on
work.
you, man.
Pleasure. Good on you
luck,
guys.
Single parenting.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
much
wish
longer
me-
for? When's Lauren
Too
back?
long, another week.
Good
Another
luck.
week.
What are we eating? Are you cooking
Well,
every
tomorrow
night?
about what am I drinking?
Whatever it takes.
There you go.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.